guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Ignore the mess behind me. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids. Today we are going to start cleaning out the kitchen. I think it's like 1:15 and I am in my projects block for my daily planning, and I kind of wanted to just sit down and read, but I know that I do need to start cleaning out the kitchen cabinets. Last week I worked on my pantry. I cleaned out the pantry and kind of reorganized it. I don't have like containers or baskets or any of that kind of stuff to keep things in for my pantry or my kitchen really in general. So I am kind of compiling a list. I'm trying to do low spend. I'm not saying no spend anymore. I keep saying no spend, but it's not a no spend. It's a low spend. And trying to just figure out exactly what I need. I don't like to purchase things and not use them. And yes, but since we moved into this house a few years ago, I really haven't purchased anything to help me organize in this space. But the first thing that I really need to do is just clean out our cabinets. Our kitchen is quite small as far as storage space goes, completely different than my old house. My old house, I had so many cabinets, cupboards, drawers, all kinds of stuff in the kitchen. I don't have that here until we can get our island built, which hopefully will be a project at some point this year, I'm not sure. But since I cleaned out the pantry, I have a lot more space in the pantry. I do have some things that are food related in some of these cabinets, and so I think I'm going to try and put them in the pantry instead of in the cupboards. We'll see how it goes. First thing I need to do is get rid of some stuff. I know I have like some old tea bags that are probably very expired at this point, and like old decaf coffee cup, K-cups that I don't drink a lot of decaf coffee. My daughter does, but those are also expired or way past their Best By date. I will use things after the Best By date, but you know, even I have some limits. So I'm going to try and get some things cleaned out of the kitchen cupboards, but first I need to clean up from lunch. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do right now. To be focusing today on my upper cabinets. If it doesn't take me long and I make a lot of progress, I may end up working on the drawers, and the lower cabinets under the sink is just cleaning stuff. We will see. It's not a whole lot of space, like I said before. This is mainly like coffee and tea, but I also have my coffee bar over here, and I keep most of the coffee that I'm using right in here, and then I have some in our entryway closet, although I may end up moving it to my pantry. I don't know. I've got a lot of mugs here. I probably do not need to keep all of these mugs here because I only use a few of them daily. I can obviously clean out some of this stuff as well. I only have a few cookbooks, and I do have some canning books that are in my office, but I leave them on the shelves in my office, and my recipe cards and some matches and toothpicks, and I'm not sure what is in that bag behind there. It's probably candles. I am very short, so I can't reach things very well, so I don't know. I don't organize things on the upper shelves very often because I'm not able to reach them, and so yes. Dishes, some wine glasses and more mugs and travel mugs. This can be organized better, but it's not. In this one I have some of our barware, I guess, up there, and then some ball jars, which I don't even have all of my canning jars in here. Most of them are out in the garage. I would like to have them in the house so that when I need them I could use them, but I don't have like a ton of glasses. I think we might have like a set of 6 of these tall ones and these shorter ones, and a couple of plastic ones. Then over here I just have some random food things, and then if you saw my pantry video, I cleaned this cabinet out last week. I do have some just plastic storage containers. These ones over here are for soup. I make like chicken stock and turkey stock or soup, and I will freeze it in these containers. And these I had gotten, I don't know when I got these. They were mainly to make lunches for my kids and myself that I can store in the refrigerator, and they are reusable, so they are just sitting in there. I haven't been using them. I don't know, maybe I ought to get rid of them. This is just a glass container that I could put something in, maybe oatmeal, I'm not sure. And then lids for canning, and Sure Gel for jam and jelly. And then over here, I talked about this also in my pantry video, I just have like my spaghetti squash and some, I don't know, are those carnival squashes? I can't remember what kind they are. And a couple of sweet potatoes and some fruit. This is just a really deep corner that is not very usable, but it seems to be good for my squash. Yeah, so that is what my plan is next, to just go through these and at least clean them and organize them a little bit better and just get rid of stuff that I do not need. We will see how it goes. One cabinet done, and it took me quite a while. I have all of my Nespresso pods up here. I have extra coffee cups, my tea mug, and then the normal cups that we use, that I use most days. Jack has a couple of Nintendo mugs, Emma has a Jane Austen mug, and then I have a little bit of tea back there, and these are just some open decaf pods. I have another sleeve in that drawer that I had showed you. This drawer over here, which also has coffee and tea in it. But I think that I am going to stop for this afternoon because I need to get all of the glassware that is out in the garage into the house to figure out the best place to put it. Now, well, let me turn it around. Because I have so many ball jars and we're not currently using them, I'm not canning right now, it's the middle of winter, but I do want to have those available. I think that I probably ought to store those in the basement. I do use some of them for when I make like chicken stock or turkey stock. I will freeze them, or if I am baking, I don't have any Pyrex liquid measure cups. I use my ball jars to do liquid measure. So I do have some of those that I keep in the house in my cupboards, but it's just not really that organized, and I don't know how I want things to be organized. I guess maybe that's part of it, because like even when I put those mugs way up there, I need to have a stool to get to them. So anything that is pretty much over the second shelf, no, pretty much anything over the first shelf is hard for me to reach because I'm so short. So I need to figure out what I need to reach most often and make sure that that stuff is all down on the bottom shelf. And then figure out what storage things am I not using regularly that can go on the top shelf in the cabinet, because I don't want to store things on the top shelf that I use even weekly, because it's such a hassle to me to climb up and down to get things. It really is a pain in the butt. So that's where I'm at the moment. I think I'm going to take a break. It's 2:15 right now. Yeah, 20 past 2. I am going to make myself a cup of coffee because I'm very tired, and then I am going to sit down and do a little bit of reading. I want to do some fiction reading, but I also want to go through some of the cleaning/organization books that I have. I mention them in my weekly Plan With Me video that is on my Patreon. If you are interested in that, you can see the link in the description box to check out my Patreon. But for right now, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then I will see if this afternoon I want to work on it more. Mainly, I just want to take a break before I have to start making supper. Yeah, because I usually start supper around 3:30. Or 4, so it takes me so long to cut up vegetables. Yeah. It is several days since what you saw at the start of this video. I really only finished my coffee/tea/coffee cup cabinet, and I did do a little bit of organizing in my middle cabinet with the glasses, the wine glasses, and our dishes and stuff. I am going to try and take everything out now and finish that up. I don't know if I will get to the pots and pans or not. I mean, I guess they can be wiped out, but I don't have a good organization system for pots and pans. They're really hard. You can't really nest them. Well, I mean, you can nest the pots, but the lids, obviously that doesn't work. I don't have any fancy gadgets to make things easy to grab, and the cabinet is large enough that all of our pans easily fit in there. I could probably utilize the space better. I'm also thinking I may move the squash off of the counter, which I talked about earlier in this video, I think, and put my mixer in that corner. I'm not entirely sure yet. I really don't like to have stuff on the counters. That being said, I have had spaghetti squash and other winter squash on the counter since September, and it just stays good there, so I'm hesitant to move it. But that is what I'm going to hopefully get done next, is just work through the rest of the cabinets, but I still don't really know how I want to organize them. And that is because I have not sat down to go through those books. So I'm still going through that stuff, trying to figure out how I want to organize things. I'm not there yet, but if I can at least get things cleaned out, get rid of what we don't need, and then put things in a tidy manner, that would be good. Yes, so that's what I'm going to work on now. Update on the pantry. I did put my extra sugar, and behind that is my confectioner's sugar that I use for baking, and then that stuff has pretty much stayed the same. And then I have added some extra canned things that I have and just random stuff that was actually in this cabinet right here. That cabinet I think is empty now. And then I did get my other 25-pound bag of flour and just put it here. I'm going to have to refill the canister, which is why I put it there. I go through probably about 25 pounds of flour a month when I'm baking our own bread. Yes, and my mom actually texted me last night. She said, I watched your pantry cleaning video. I think you should just put a piece of cardboard down there. But I think what I'm going to do is get a rubber mat and then maybe something. I haven't decided how I'm going to I really haven't decided how I'm going to work that, because it isn't very easy to grab that bucket of flour when it's full. When it's not full, when it's half full or less, it's very easy to just pull it out. So that's why I am actually thinking about getting another glass canister, or maybe taking the rice out of this one. And I have another glass, it's much smaller than this one. It's a little, might be a little bit smaller than the one that has my sugar in it. And then putting my flour back in here, so it's up here. This is where all of my squash, my winter squash, spaghetti squash and stuff from my garden were. I don't have very many squash left, so I should just put those on the menu in the next couple of weeks and eat them, which I probably will. But I got that, and I also had some garlic that I grew sitting out here, which I should have that in a basket. I have it in the basement right now, and I just grab it as needed. But I did put my KitchenAid over here. We'll see how this goes. And we have this empty jug to fill our Berkey, because our Berkey, we need to fill it every day. So I don't have a good place for that either. I still don't know what I'm going to do over here. I had mentioned before that I was going to grab my canning jars that I haven't used this year that are in our garage and move them in here. I don't know if it makes sense to put them in that corner cabinet. At our old house, I canned a lot. Since I've been in the new house, we have not done any canning. I have frozen vegetables that we are preserving, and I didn't make salsa or ketchup or barbecue sauce or canned tomatoes or anything the past couple of years. I just haven't. Part of it was because I didn't have supplies. I wasn't able to get lids in 2020. And then in 2021, we did not plant a garden, and we've just been using the CSA. We did plant a garden this past year, and it was very successful. However, I froze most of our tomatoes, at least the ones that the chickens didn't eat. That's gonna be something that we figure out for this year. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet for that. In our old house, we did have a corner cabinet like that, and I kept all of my empty jars in there, and then I had another cabinet, like a double cabinet like this over here, that I kept all of our canned goods in, my home canned goods. My cabinets were, I feel like, just a little bit deeper. At the old house, I could fit 3 quarts back, and in these cabinets, I can do 2 quarts, and like the third quart is kind of sticking out, which makes me a little nervous. I don't want somebody to open one of those and have it fall out and break. So I don't know. Let me show you the rest of the cabinets though. So this cabinet had some random condiments like chili sauce and molasses and mayonnaise and mustard and things like that. I had molasses that I usually keep in stock, but I was when I went to put it away, they were not out of date, but both of the lids were popped open. I haven't used them, so I don't know if they were just canned incorrectly, if it got too hot in here and they opened. I'm not sure what happened, or if I bought them and the tops had already popped beforehand. It doesn't go bad, but obviously I was a little leery of having that. So anyways, these shelves are completely empty now. I don't know what to do with them. Will I put canned goods in there? Perhaps. The same with these. I just don't know what to do in these cabinets. I've obviously gotten rid of a ton of stuff before we moved. There may be some stuff in the basement still. And then I do have my canning stuff out in the garage and some in the basement as well. So these are our glasses. We have a few other glasses. in the dishwasher, to be real honest. I don't know where all of our glasses are. I have 3 dirty ones in the sink. I thought that I had more glasses than that, but I don't. These are just some ball jars that we use regularly just for storing food, or I also use them for measuring liquid measures because I don't have any Pyrex measuring cups. And then that one up there is empty. This is our biggest cabinet, but I really don't like it because it has this thing in the middle, so I can't easily slide dishes in and out. It's not separated, but it just has this thing in the middle. I don't know if you could take that down or if it would make the cabinet break. So I have a feeling it is probably a structural thing for the cabinet. I'm not sure. Does anybody know? Anyways, so these are our dishes. We just have Corelle dishes. I used to have a 12-person setting of these dishes. This is the only one left. It is totally scratched and it does have a chip. This is the last dish left from the dishes that we got from our wedding. So we've moved to just the white Corelle. Easy to maintain, but I don't have a lot of dishes. You probably don't want to keep looking at the cabinets. Years ago, in our old house, we had a ton of dishes and I kept them in a rolling, it was a cabinet that had like a drawer pull-out in it. It wasn't a drawer, it was just a drawer pull-out, and I kept most of my dishes there. And one day I pulled it out and all of my Pyrex and glassware and all of that stuff fell, and the majority of it smashed and broke, so I got rid of the stuff. And so I never replaced it because I was on a minimalism kick and I just didn't want to spend the money, and we don't do a ton of entertaining with real dishes. Even when my brother and his family come for Thanksgiving, we do like nice paper plates because it's just easier when there's 11 of us to do that. When we have friends over, same thing. When we have all the kids here and there's like 20 kids running around, I just use paper. So I just don't have a ton of dishes. We could probably use a few more dishes, but I don't have them. And even if I did, I'm not sure how I would fit them in here because of this bar. And then the other thing is I am very short. This is me reaching my hand way up. Now I'm on my tippy toes and I can just put my hand in there. So I don't put a lot of stuff that I need to use regularly on anything but the bottom shelf. These are wine glasses, beer glasses. I have a few shot glasses up there. Actually, I think I have a whole bin of shot glasses because I used to collect them when I was traveling. Some more barware up there. And yes, that's it. This is the last cabinet that I have to go through, and it shouldn't take me very long, although there might be some stuff in the back there that I don't really use. But I'm going to pull all of this stuff down, and then I'm going to go through my drawers. I don't really know what to do with this stuff because I don't have like the little containers to make it. I don't know. But some of these, all of my spoons and stuff are really big from Williams-Sonoma. They are like the commercial grade stuff because I do love to cook and I cook in big portions, so I don't really have a place to put this stuff. Now, I did used to have a canister that I kept all of my utensils in, but that is my counter space right there. That's the amount of counter space I have, besides in that corner, so I don't really want to do that here. Yeah, I guess I could maybe put it over here, but this is kind of where I leave my computer. This is like another space that it's not big enough for a microwave, which is why we don't have a microwave up here right at the moment. But yeah, so, and then I have, you know, oven mitts and aprons, and then I have just bags and tin foil And then on the bottom, this is just junk, and probably most of it can be gotten rid of. My cookie cutters, obviously, I want to keep. I don't know about these plastic things. I know you want me to keep them, but we don't really use them ever. I will keep the silicone popsicle molds because I make green smoothies in the summer and put them in the freezer for the kids. So I also have my nut milk bags in there and just some other random stuff. So that can be gone through. Then I have silverware, and this needs, there's a bunch of crap in here too. Have thought about putting my silverware over here and putting my utensils over here. I don't know. And then this one is just measuring cups and random tools, kids' tools, and a plastic fork just for fun. So that is the next thing that I'm going to work on, and hopefully that won't take me too long. Getting the rest of the cabinets cleaned out only took me about 45 minutes, and actually I think 15 minutes of that has been me talking. So it didn't really take me that long to get the rest of the stuff cleaned out, which is good. And you know, as I have sorted things, I really don't have a lot of stuff. So that makes organizing a little bit easier, but perhaps in the future I'd like to get some more things or just figure out how to use the cabinets better. I really don't know. So that's where we're at. Now I'm going to work on the drawers. Going to leave off this kitchen cleaning video. I'm sure there will be an update at some point, especially once I get some tools to organize things. Yeah, I do have my pots and pans down here, but again, not a ton of stuff and not, I don't know, not super neat. And here is just baking sheets, muffin tins, and I do have some random stuff in this cabinet that I need to do something with. I'm not sure what yet. It looks like I have some more canned vegetables down there, so oh goodness. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's been fun for me to share some of these cleaning things, organizing things. They are still not quite where I want them to be, but just getting things a little bit more tidy. This is honestly something that I have needed to do since we moved into our home in the last week of February in 2020. So we moved all of our stuff in and we put it away, and then we just never really settled into stuff. I never really settled into stuff. So this has been a lot of fun for me. I don't know what's next. I think that I'm supposed to deep clean the fridge and the freezer. I haven't gotten that far. I thought I would do that this past weekend. That did not happen. So I'm going to wrap up this video here. I hope that you had fun watching me clean out my kitchen. If you have questions about anything that I talked about, just let me know. Or if you have suggestions on better ways to organize things, I'd love to hear that too. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.